Okay, so what is this? This is a 75 Johnson 15 horse. I picked it up for a couple $100 last night. Trying to replace an 8 horse Yamaha Mariner. That's a little bit slow for my boat. So, one thing I didn't realize before I bought it is it's a long shaft. So I will be going through converting it back to a short shaft. As far as I can tell, this little extension housing unbolts, and then you can either replace the drive shaft and the shift rod or shorten them, I've heard. And there's a couple other pieces that come out, but it can be done. And look at cost of replacing the shift shaft and the drive shaft or shortening them. It turns over. It appears to go in a gear. It appears to be mostly there apart from this gear and this knob, and the choke lever is there, but it's not connected to anything. But it does turn over, so the next thing I want to do is check for spark. So in the process of looking it over a little closer, I found my throttle linkage gear in there, and there appears to be a knob falling down in there. So we may not be missing too many parts after all. So I do have spark. However, when I first checked, I wasn't getting spark on the bottom cylinder. So just for shits and giggles, I tried the other plug from the top cylinder and it worked. And I looked, it's got 2 different plugs in it. That's a BP8H-N. This is a BR9HS. So this, it had 1 resistor plug in it. It doesn't like sparking on the resistor plug, but it sparks beautifully on this plug. So I bet that would have frustrated somebody, whoever was working on it last. So I found a couple plugs. They both spark. And before I put them back in, I dribbled a little bit of 2-stroke oil right in the cylinders. And I don't have a hose right now because they're all put away for the winter, so I'm not going to run it very long. But I'm going to dribble a little bit of fuel on the carb and see if it'll fire. I know running even for a couple seconds without water will ruin the impeller, but I'm going to put an impeller in it anyway, so I don't care that much. So here we go, we'll see if it fires. So now that we have had it running, the next thing I want to do is pull the extension housing parts off and see just what it's going to take it make it into a short shaft. According to the manual, I have to undo these bolts first. Getting a wrench in there is going to be a pain in the ass. So I got this lower unit with the extension off, and what I was working on after I split the lower unit from the upper unit was just this screw here. That's for the shift rod. So that has to come out before it can come all the way off. Now I'm going to unbolt the 5-inch extension housing from the rest of the gear case and see what all is in there. So here's where I'm at. The long shaft extension piece is out, same with the spacer. Lower unit's apart, got the impeller housing and everything over there. So what needs to change to convert it to a short shaft is this water tube needs to be shortened 5 inches, easy enough. And then the drive shaft is too long. You can replace it. The short shaft is still available through aftermarket places, you know, Marine Engine, BoatParts.com, whatever. It's $250 though, US, which is more than I paid for this motor, so that's not an option. So I'm thinking maybe eBay, or looking into having it shortened and welded. I'd try it, but it is stainless, so I don't know how well that would go, unless I sleeved it. But no, I'll look into that later. And then the shift rod either needs to be cut and welded with 5 inches out of it, which I can do because it's not spinning. It's not terribly critical. Or you just lop 5 inches off the end of it, rebend it, and put a groove for the bolt to go through. Okay, it's about a week later, back on the Johnson 15 horse. And I've got my short shaft conversion parts. I had to buy a whole lower unit for like $150, but if I wanted to get just the shorter shaft, this one, from eBay, it would be like $160 plus another $70 to ship it because I'm in Canada. So it works out. I'm okay with it. I just sold my other motor for $250, so it covers it and then a little bit more, so I'm happy. So that's just about everything parts wise I need, and the only other thing I need to do is cut the water pickup tube 5 inches short on the outboard. So we're going to get that thrown together, and then I've got a bucket of water so I can run it this weekend. So now to put the lower unit on, I have to cut the water tube 5 inches short. As much as I hate using Dremel cutoff wheels, that's going to be the best tool to do this. So we'll get that done here. So we got that cut off. It is 1/2 inch up past this line here, which is where it needs to be. So I'll clean it up with a file and put our lower unit in. It's just a copper tube, so it's pretty soft, pretty easy to do all this. forward. And yes, our water tube makes contact. Shift coupler in. Let's see the water tube go in. Aha. The 5-gallon bucket I used to run my Mariner this morning is too small for the Evinrude 99, so I'll have to come up with something else. Oh. Fuel pump's leaking. So that's a bit of a shame. We got a crack in the fuel pump housing right around here. So it's just spraying when I hit the primer bulb. But it's not going to stop me. I'm going to pop the fuel line off the carb and fill it full of 2-stroke and let it run for even a minute. That would be nice before I order a pump. Alright, so don't try this at home. I got the line from my tank with a smaller line pushed inside of it, safety hose clamp, and then down into the carb, so we'll see if it fires. Float bowl should be full. close. I see a problem. I don't know if you can see down there, but the bolt from the cover latch has punched a hole in the thermostat cover. So that'll be interesting. So that's going to be all for this video. We know it will run, but it needs issues, or has issues, like that thermostat housing is a big one, and the fuel pump. That's not so bad, but the thermostat housing's going to be, that's a good one. Doesn't look easy to change without pulling the power head off. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.